And the gangsters are already here to discuss this week's topical issues. But we want to start. When I was coming on my way here, I would literally see only empty streets. But down there in the corridors and other places, the feeder roads, you would see real activity of cleaning up. And this is in conjunction with the National Cleaning Day that has been launched today by the Vice President. Right downtown, and I know that quite a number of complaints coming in, but on the big view, I know that people are probably appreciating and have appreciated the day. I want to begin, but before I do that, let me just take you through my panelists today. I have my grandfather in the media, Wafula Ogutu is in the building as one of the gangsters today. Mr. Ogutu, welcome to the show, and how are you feeling? How's it?
Thank you very much, Joanna.
Yes. Did you clean up before coming here?
I cleaned my bedroom.
I also have Edgar Tavares, senior counsel there. Welcome, Edgar, to the gang. Did you clean up? Or you came sweating, by the way?
Thank you very much. I did participate in cleaning.
Okay.
And I live in a neighborhood that has mainly retired people. Muyenga, all the money really.
Like in Tinder.
Yeah, like in Tinder, like yourself. My parents stayed in Tinder as well, like the Darren of media, or our grandfather,
yes.
Honorable Wafula Ogutu.
Yes.
I mean, I'm humbled to be in his presence.
Yeah.
I grew up reading his opinions, and largely I was influenced by them as well. But the surprise is that, I was being a neighborhood of mainly old people. The persons who turned up to clean were mainly foreigners, the South Sudanese, the Khartoum Sudanese, and the Eritreans.
And that's their location.
Their location. They really turned up in big numbers, and the streets are looking meticulously clean. I came upon many molds of garbage that had been collected, and I saw them dressed in. Surprisingly, they were dressed in personal protective gear, gloves and overalls. So I thought, and I will have an opportunity.
Yeah, true. We shall discuss that.
I shall give our pros and cons.
Absolutely. Honorable Wafula I have had the chance to be mentored by him, even when he's not in the media space. I call him off one or two stories here. He calls me to tell me, Derek, you wrote this story, you should have written it like this and stuff like that. I'm very, very lucky that
But quite frankly, there are things you could mouth off on air and off air that I think Honorable Wafula Ogutu is one of the persons who have either willingly or unwillingly participated in stabilizing this country. Because if were he to publish everything, were he to publish everything that came into your possession, believe me. So he exercised what they call discretion, and discretion, judiciously discretion, and we really thank you for that contribution to this country. And I'm saying this while you're still alive. I don't want to wait for you to pass on.
Now I know how you want me to say what
we also have State Minister for Public Affairs, the Honorable Lydia Wanyoto. Welcome to the gang. Did you clean up with the people of Mbale City?
Thank you, Derek. Today was the national launch for the national cleaning, and found me in Kampala. So I've joined Her Excellency the Vice President and the Prime Minister to launch the cleaning. In Chisenyi, I've just come from Chisenyi, and the whole country had leadership, and the launch has happened. The actual work now will commence beginning the next month, every last Saturday of the month. So I plan to have my last Saturday of the month of August, which is the next one in Mbale. Then I'll join my fellow. I'm not the only leader from Mbale City. We have many, so I'll join my colleagues from Mbale, but it has happened today in Mbale City, and I want to thank them for launching from Mbale City. I've joined the team in Kampala, and we've done well. I would like to call upon all Ugandans to remain vigilant and take this one as symbolic. It doesn't mean that you should be cleaning only one day in a month. And I had people saying, we've not bought gear, we've not bought gloves, we've not. I just picked the broom in my house because you're supposed to clean every day in your home. I picked the broom in my house. I have a spade in my house, gloves, and I went and joined the cleaning. You have your gum boots. Don't you go to gardens? Put on the normal things that you have. People are saying, I need an overall. I saw someone saying that they need an overall. They gave it names in the local languages. But
That's referring to me.
surely,
What are overalls in local language?
you're the one that you have reported yourself. So let's take this initiative. It is so symbolic, but just where I have been, we've loaded the 5 trucks of garbage. It's also in Chisenyi.
Okay.
In Chisenyi, in Kampala.
The vice president was.
Yes, that's why we went cleaning. So that means that even our effort is just not. It's a community thing. After the exercise, there is a baraza. You talk. Wananchi are happy to talk straight to the leaders. We are also able to meet them. There are also those quick fixes. People were happy to see a vice president. They've been seeing on TV. They put up questions there. They've asked. So it's also an interaction because you don't just gather garbage and go away. There's also a baraza. And those who have time, they can express quick issues for quick fixes and then going forward. So within the gap of the next 4 weeks, people now will be knowing that even if they don't have to come to collect garbage, there will be a leader to raise other challenges of the community. So it's a very good initiative. Actually, it was long overdue. I would like to applaud all the Ugandans without excuses or without being excited to having turned out, because they have turned out in big numbers.
Yes.
Where I've been, there are many big numbers. I know Balester has had big numbers because yesterday I was there and we were putting in place the program with the Madam Mayor of the city, and the other members of parliament are all in the field doing the same. The amendment in the national cleaning exercise is that our friends who are of the faith of the Advent, the Advents have been allowed not to work today, not to come out and clean, but they will have to choose between cleaning on Friday or Sunday.
Okay.
Because they should also clean. But that does not mean that they had to walk out today because they were not cleaning. The opening up was at 10 a.m. and therefore they can only go to church outside at 10 o'clock, but they don't have to work. And they will work, they have to choose either they want to work on Friday or Sunday. And for those days we don't have to lock down, because for them they can work in an organized way as a faith. But for us, the rest of us, 6 o'clock on the road, clean. By 10 o'clock we are at Capital Gang. So I think we've done well.
Honorable, I'm going to start with you on this very one, because we are seeing that the slogan is "A Clean Uganda is everyone's responsibility," and it has been organized by various MDAs, that's ministries, departments, and agencies. I want to hear from you who sits in the cabinet. How did we arrive at this? Because we want to know about the preparedness. There is quite a number of people, a section of people saying there was not enough sensitization in terms of how for people to prepare themselves, but also, for instance, the Advents. How did you plan for them in the first place? Did you think about? Let us just help us understand how this was arrived at.
This is a cabinet decision, but it's a whole government approach. It does not have to be MDAs. It's for everybody. And a clean environment is a clean person. If you want to test dirtiness, just remain dirty, you will see. Because the reasons why people get diagnosed with cholera, they get diagnosed, there's this thing they call infections, there is typhoid, all this type of diseases, poor health. If you trace them, they have something to do with a poor environment or poor drainage. So we are, the first line of this exercise is to make sure that we remain a clean population. So when you say it's everybody's responsibility as the theme, you want to be healthy, please come out and clean. And clean does not only mean where we have been, like the garbage centers and the streets. It begins with your home. I'm actually very surprised that people were asking for brooms and spades. Yes. How do you keep your homes?
And this is a national thing. Do I take my
No, it's national.
Do I take my
in
broom
terms
on the
of
street?
where do you take? By the way, they
my
did
broom on the street.
No, it is us that went to the streets because that's the leadership thing. But you, Right Honorable Wafula Gutu, you should have told us on radio that you clean your house every day, but you joined your village to clean. What's wrong with using your village?
You gave us 6 hours to prepare for this.
But you have your broom. You've not answered the last question.
Night.
What I have picked from Waflo Gutu is that he doesn't have even a broom or a spade in his house. So I am actually very surprised. Yeah, because to take it from me, I didn't have to go to buy anything myself.
Yeah.
But I went out to the street because we were launching. But even on my village where I stay, we woke up in the morning. I began from where I stay, the village where I stay, and we were able to clean our garbage centers as a symbol or a campaign to say, guys, this is the beginning of Chisanja, no more sleep and no more corruption. So we have begun in the right gear, and we cannot speak about cleaning our minds and cleaning the desks. We must also clean visibly the environment.
Yeah,
So for KCCA, we expect them to repurpose their budgets and make sure that they have enough garbage bins, so that we don't say don't litter, and yet someone has nowhere to dump. Because if are drinking water, they must find a bin where they drop the empty bottles. People have paperwork, they must find the garbage where they throw paper or any form of garbage. Even preempting, there are some areas that sanitation, where toilets are blocked. These are areas where you have to repurpose. Sanitation is very important. Environment and climate change is a global thing. This Kavera thing we found in garbage, there's also the campaign to sort garbage. You do not mix broken glass, Kavera, polythene, and then this decomposing from the kitchen. You know that we carry all the matoke from the villages, the peels of the matoke. We carry all the animals Kampala to slaughter. You find there feathers of birds, you have chicken, all these, the heads. So we need to learn also how, when you are living the household garbage. I hope Right Honorable Wafula will now agree with me. Even your garbage bin, we need to sort. If you can have one that has plastics or polythene, and then one that has this biodegradable garbage, so that we are able to deliver it to the rightful pits and also do the recycling. We have companies that are coming up with all sorts of proposals to manage and recycle garbage, so that it's also used either for biogas or for fertilizers. But we must begin with our health, and this is going to attract tourism. Every tourist or everybody, including domestic private, people want to go to clean places. I know many Ugandans, when you are driving on the highway, you want to make a stopover at maybe a refill a petrol station, but that has a clean washroom, so that you are able to refresh or able to stretch. Anywhere that is dirty, you see people passing by. So cleaning should be part of our livelihood. People are clean, but also public environment. It has to do with the environment, climate change, improving the picture of our country, but also keeping our health. If we can reduce the burden of disease by being clean, so it be. So this is a very important, and we've decided as Kisanja, no more sleep and also no corruption, to do the work from the front. That's why I woke up this morning in my cleaning gear, and as I was out there right from the village where I live, I woke up with my rubbish up to where the launch was. I was at the launch because I had to support the launch as a member of cabinet, but also to go and support my leader, the High Excellency, the Vice President. But ideally, I should have been in my home village where I live in Kampala, or better still, I should have been in Mbale State, where I'm a member of parliament. But everything was in place. I want to applaud Ugandans, because there are a few here who are making it political, but if you splash out. I was watching some screens when I was on my way to the venue. I found that many Ugandans have embraced this exercise, right from Fort Portal to Arua to Mbale City, where I come from. Even in Busoga, many areas of Busoga, I saw in Ibujiri, people are there cleaning. While
yes, yes,
Honorable Central, where Uncle there, people are cleaning, and he's here, he's just here laughing. But it is good that he has also come to make a contribution.
He said he has participated, but we've been joined.
Very good,
we've been joined by.
So let me finish, Derek. We should be intentional and deliberate on the efforts to position and brand our country, and to work for a clean population and a clean environment, and to deal with issues of climate change and environment.
We've been joined by Dr. Herbert Nabasa. He's a Commissioner of Environmental Health at the Ministry of Health. I want to bring you in right there because you have been the custodian of the preparations for this. Do you think after the first day you have a few notes to take and probably improve or like work on, but also just give us a background of how we arrived at this very important strategy in our health system?
Thank you, Derek. And
can you speak to the mic?
Thank you all
yeah.
for joining this discussion. Indeed, it's a very critical one for us as a country. As a ministry, we've been at the forefront because we are the most affected. We interact with the Ugandans each day looking at the burden of disease, but what is most interesting is that the biggest percentage of this burden is preventable.
Speak a little bit closer.
We are talking about diseases that look like nuisances. Diarrhea. Diarrhea, for instance, we have 33 children dying each day. And the implication is that they are eating a bit of feces, and just to be a bit contextual. And this is something we can stop. When we talk about the context of town, for instance, we have 9 people defecating openly. 9 out of every 100 people defecating openly in the environment. When you go to the village, we have about 16 people out of the 100 defecating openly. What that means is that you cannot stop the contamination of water sources, you cannot stop the contamination of food when you have people who still defecate in the open space. Beyond the open defecation, we have the responsibility to clean ourselves. The washing of the hands. You remember when we had the outbreaks of COVID and now Ebola, the biggest cardinal preventive measure was just hand washing. And this is the principal responsibility that we hold at an individual level. Sometimes we want to hold government responsible, which is correct, but it is in governments, in countries all over the country, people must be responsible for their personal hygiene. Personal health, having a toilet at home. I remember when we were growing up, we got how the model village, how the model home should look like. You have a katandaro where you clean your plates and put them. You have a clean toilet, as simple as it is, but it is clean. You are able to use it and avoid open defecation. And so in the context of disease, we hope and believe that government can actually support communities to become responsible for their own health. To avert that. When you speak about malaria, for instance, we have a lot of people who die each day because of malaria, and malaria is preventable. The malaria mosquitoes breed around us. They breed within our environment, within our compounds. Why? Because of the bushes growing within our homes, stagnant water that keeps the larvae of the mosquito, the female anopheles. So these efforts of personal responsibility and civic responsibility to clean ourselves, to clean the environment, is largely to ensure that we reduce that burden of disease. I can mention all of them, you know them: hepatitis B, diarrhea, cholera, including the diseases we call NTDs, neglected tropical diseases, the bilharzia, schistosomiasis. You've seen people sweating, having their legs swollen. All these are the diseases that we can prevent. So we think, government thinks that this is the time to wake up and galvanize ourselves into personal responsibility. And how do we do that? I think today we launched in the entire country. I'm happy, Honorable, we are getting messages. Every country has actually embraced this. They are busy cleaning. Much as we have people who still feel that we have pressured them up, but there is no better time. We have been preparing this for the last 1 year. Cabinet launched it, approved it in August last year in 2025. 1 year of preparation. We have the guidelines already out in saturation. I think there's always time to start. We have now started. We hope that if we can embrace this and take it up, we are going to bring the burden of disease down. And the implication of bringing the disease down means that everything else is going to go up. Returns on investment at the household level, the money you are spending on malaria, the money you are spending on treating children, the under 5 mortality is going to come down. So we have incomes coming up automatically as reduction of disease goes down.
My question is, so how long does this go on? Is it until time infinity, it's a program that's running forever, or do you have a time frame within which to stop?
Derek, we have launched and there's no stop in cleaning, because it's like asking, when are you going to stop bathing? Okay?
Yes.
Or when are you going to stop brushing?
And the lockdowns are going to be happening every month?
These are, I think we also need to look at the context of calling it a lockdown. Really.
It is a lockdown.
It's a lockdown.
It's a lockdown.
It's just saying that can we observe these few hours and clean ourselves? Well, you can choose to call it a lockdown, but I think as long as it is individual willingness, then you can use another lens to clean yourself, clean your environment. And by the way, even without saying stop, people have been cleaning. I know you clean your home every day.
Yes.
You clean your environment every day. I think what we are saying is we are catalyzing that communication, making the message resounding and sounding it further and further, to say that we hopefully need to do a little more than we've been doing. So we'll be doing this every end of month, last week or last Saturday of the month, but it doesn't mean that all the other days we are not cleaning. So we are cleaning every day, but then we are sending a signal reminder every last Saturday of every month.
The other question would be, we see that there are so many ministries and agencies that are involved in this.
Yes.
So in terms of budgeting, for instance, we want more, brooms on the streets such that we don't have to come with ours from the houses. We want more garbage bins and stuff like that. Where does the budget come from? Is it from all the ministries, or it's coming from
Yes, Derek, all the ministries. So we said at the start, we looked at it, we said we cannot budget for our personal hygiene. It's difficult to budget. So we said it's going to be a whole of government, whole of society approach, where all the ministries within their budgets are going to find ways of ensuring that they implement this. But also beyond government, at a personal level, you've got to do your own budget, because it's difficult to budget for your toothbrush. And let's also contextualize it. If we talk about cleaning, we are beginning from an individual. Brushing your teeth, ensuring that you don't get jiggers, you don't get bed bugs, you do not get these ones which enter the ceiling, the bats.
Yes.
So you begin with yourself and also your house. So how do we budget for you? It is an individual budget, but the government is going to come in, provide guidance in terms of, if you have collected waste, we must pick that waste. Like now today, we've cleaned Kampala, all that waste has been picked. So the local governments are going to work within their means to ensure that the garbage collected during the cleaning day, National Cleaning Day, is fully collected, disposed of in a safer place. But otherwise,
and sorted.
Yes, sorted, properly sorted. And by the way, there's wealth to it. We've been in Mitiana there, where we are current KCCA dump site. There's a lot of scavenging. People are struggling to pick plastic, and they have established a small town around West, which means there is wealth people are following. So if we can sort, actually, that money shouldn't be wasted. The plastic and other issues, other things that can be picked out of waste, can be turned into money. And so if we sort, we already make some jobs for some people that can use that for recycling.
With the involvement of the entire population in the country, you probably want to think about the things like dumping centers. We know, like last year, there was a catastrophe in that main dumping center where many people died and lost their property.
Yes.
How has government planned for the dumping centers in making sure that now garbage is going to be more, because there are more people involved in collecting on the streets and stuff like that? Yes. Are these dumping centers
So all the cities, all the local governments have been mandated actually to ensure that they have the official dumping site. You call them landfills. So they collect waste, and this waste has to find itself in a safer place where it can be easily landfilled or maybe sanitary managed, so that it does not get back to the public. For the Kampala city, where we have a huge burden of waste, the space that has been gazetted is up and running. I think now the proposal is to turn that into wealth, to either compose it into energy or other forms of wealth is ongoing. And so every local government city have their own designated place, and I think there is a new policy that is coming up that is going to ensure that all the dumping areas are fully gazetted and properly managed.
What's the figure in terms of budgeting across board?
For establishing a land site?
No. For the entire National Cleaning Day and National Cleaning Exercise.
We did not want to attach a figure because, first of all, attaching a figure to this civic and individual responsibility was going to be very, very hard. Because we don't want to monetize it. We want to make it a personal responsibility. So the budget is a budget that we already have within ourselves and within the government. But maybe the budget we'll be talking about is the actual composting, the managing of the final disposal sites. That I can find out what it is required maybe to manage a land site, landfill, but also maybe the equipment, the PPEs, all those can be costed and be shared for those who plan.
Yeah, I will bring you in at the tail end of this particular topic, but I want to bring Edgar in. Edgar, you are talking about nationals who have come out in big numbers and with PPEs, probably because of the background from where they come in their countries. Do we see Ugandans getting to that level? And you might even know that these people have acquired these PPEs for themselves. How does Uganda get to that kind of level?
Yeah, my experience Saturday today has to do with those communities. I interact with veterans, Ethiopians, Khartoum Sudanese, not so much of fellow Sudanese, for some reason I don't know. They have a very high sense of community amongst them. However, talking about a national cleaning exercise, this is not entirely novel in Uganda. We had it traditionally in the kingdom areas. I happen to come from Toro Kingdom, where I was an official at some point. We had these community programs. There are variants of the word, the term Bulungi Wansi. Bulungi Wansi is for the good of the what? Of the community, for the good of the nation, where community or Batuze would be called upon for efforts to do programs that benefit. In my area, I come from a tea growing area of Kijura. So many tea plantations there, and we have our own subculture. It's an area of descendants of European tea planters, Nubians who were brought by Lugard, then the so-called Bafuruchi, like us who left scarcity of land in Chigezi and Chisoro to come and find better opportunities in Toro. So we do come together regularly to do community roads. Many of our roads there are community roads, and the funding for there's no funding for community roads, and even for you can imagine the funding for sub-county roads is about 4 million maintenance per year. So many of the roads that we do there are as a result of what community efforts, but it's not done forcefully. You get energetic people. We like to buy mwenge. We get a local brew, give the people. If you can't join, you give them a little money. If you are laying culvert, so it's not nothing novel, nothing new. It's not novel. It's been around. So that on this occasion, I think, and I like to commend government for that, for setting aside a day where we can collectively, as a country, come together and in a sense of community, participate in cleaning up our environments. As the expert, the doctor, the commissioner has explained, many of the diseases that we have are preventable, and they can only be prevented if we have a clean environment. He's talked about even some of those diseases that don't given much attention. He talked of tropical. Malaria. Malaria is one of the biggest killers in this country. And malaria is an Italian word, which means bad air. So yes, bad air. Malaria, bad air. Malaria.
But the malaria doesn't go through air.
No. It was associated with poor neighborhoods, and not just poor neighborhoods, but neighborhoods with poor hygiene. So if you clear drains, mosquitoes will they breed whatever will go. That's why during El Nino, when there's heavy rain, they tend to have lower cases of malaria because they are drained. They are drained forcefully. So that is incumbent upon us as citizens, as Batuze, to come together and clean the environment. But also, Right Honorable Wafula Gut, you remember when you were still very, very active in the media, we used to have a Keep Kampala Clean City, Keep Kampala City Clean Day. And first under Babu when he was LC5 chairman, then Christopher Yiga. And you remember driving through Buganda Road primary schools, there used to be, what was it? It was a natural, there were flowers they had planted to keep Kampala City clean. And it was a monthly In primary school, I was at Nakasero Primary, where I did my primary. We used to go and participate. And we used to clean around Nakasero up to the Chancellor of Exchequer, the Minister of Finance building. We would, because we didn't have many workers that time in KCC, so we would hold slashers, but of course they would give us personal protection gears and we would slash. And in a day, you would find all the bushes, bushes cleared. Although at that time, you remember, at that time, we used to have a lot of roadside farming. You remember? So
urban farming.
Urban farming. So we were very careful not to cut the casoli and the beans. But over the years, I've seen the neighborhoods improving. So really, this is a great effort, and I think it's incumbent upon us to lend our efforts, to lend our opinions to make it work. However, it shouldn't just stop at mere cleaning. I think you need to call upon and partner up with institutions, religious institutions, cultural institutions, public opinion leaders. You can imagine if you had the Honorable Wafula Gutu holding a long broom and a chidio, whatever. I wish you'd come to my neighborhood. Believe me, it would make a much bigger impact than having my sister Wanyoto and the vice president doing the lead.
Because they are doing their job.
They are doing their job. So we need to bring other people on board. We need to bring other people on board, and also not just turn it into a cleaning exercise, but to rally the country to the cause of patriotism. You can use it as well as a baraza for us to interact with our local. We are going through local council elections soon, to interact with our local leaders and bring to the attention our problems. Some of these problems don't need, as you've seen, you didn't put a budget for it. Had you put a budget, had you set aside a budget to undertake this exercise, believe me, our parliament would have come in, civil society, this is the knee-jerk approach and what have you. But I like that you rallied the country without necessarily having to call for consensus. You've kick-started us, some shock therapy. Of course, there are persons in my space, lawyers, who will argue that this is forced labor. I'm certain the right honorable Wafula Gutu is going to go in that direction. That's forced labor against Article 25 of the Constitution. But I was talking to Honorable Wafula Gutu before he came in. Like I told you, he's a man I hold in a very high regard. He was asking me about Burundi. Burundi is a very poor country. Very poor country, but they have very clean towns.
Yes.
Doctor, you'll agree with me. You are benchmarking with Burundi. I'm very poor country. I mean, their GNP, their GDP figures just don't make sense when you look at how clean they run their cities. So, beyond cleaning the environment, we citizens must call our leaders also to clean up their act, clean up their institutions. We have Chitezi. There was an attempt to procure a separate
Edgar, as you sum up.
There was an attempt to secure, to procure a site for dumping. When the matter came before the councillors at KCC under Salongo Lukwago, you saw the fist fights and the adjectives that they were exchanging. So beyond cleaning our environment, I think we also need to hold our leaders to account and clean up the institutions, and by extension, clean up our country.
Yeah, Edgar, you bring up very poignant points there, but I want to cross to my grandfather in the trade of journalism. We've also been joined by the head of RDCs in the city, Fred Bamwini, and RCs. Welcome, my RDC. We come from the same area in China.
Thank you so much, and good morning, viewers and listeners. And I want to thank you for all of you having turned up in big numbers to kickstart this National Cleaning Day.
Okay, I want to bring in my grandfather.
Yeah.
Honorable Ogutu. Reports have indicated that Uganda loses anywhere about 8 to 23 hours in traffic per month, and that culminates to about 440 hours per annum. Now we're adding another 4 that we are going to lose while we are cleaning the city, which is a very important aspect. But are we looking at this exercise holistically and in terms of our economic development?
Yeah, thank you very much, Derek. It looks like my honorable minister there and the commissioner thought I was negative. I'm not, actually. First, I'm a journalist since 1992. I've been involved in Rotary, and Rotary we clean. Rotary, the world doesn't know that Rotary eradicated the polio in the world. Money we contribute every year, but also we clean, and we used to do that. I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Ntinda, and we used to organize to clean the suburbs of Ntinda. And we would go there, we would collaborate with City Council, and would have gear, would have brooms, would have spades, would have wheelbarrows, and would have a skipper, a van, a loader to put things on. Of course, this wasn't done today, but NRM has this bad habit of implementing a good idea badly. They have a good idea and they just implement it in a very stupid way.
Well, maybe not stupid.
No, in a very unwise way.
Yes.
Because they had the idea, for instance, UP was a very good idea, but the way they implemented it, they screwed it up, and they made an apartheid in the education system. Apartheid. That the poor people will go for UP, the rich people like ourselves, our kids will go to different schools. We built an apartheid out of a good idea. When I was growing up, the best schools were government schools. The private schools were poor ones, the bad ones. Or if you went to a private school, you were a failure. Today is the reverse, right? So, a good idea implemented badly. There have been several. Take the issue of Mitandi, Kwa, Kulembeka, all these things, now PDM. They implement them badly. A good idea, they don't think about it, so that they can do it well. And to develop a culture of people getting involved in cleaning the environment is not forced labor. What happened yesterday was a military operation. What happened this morning is a military operation. You don't lock people out and they say you go and volunteer. Volunteer means you want to go willingly. You are not captured and say you can't move out. You must go and work, but you have enemy provided me. I asked in the village, last night, that where are we going to clean? After I clean my home, where are we going to clean? Who is going to lead us? Who is giving us the spades? Who is giving us the wheelbarrows? Where is the truck?
Remember, we're just
even
in the
the chairman
process
didn't know.
Getting the chairman.
Even the chairman didn't know what to do. So, if my chairman in Kampala in Ntinda doesn't know, I don't know whether my chairman in Bugiri or Namuganza, my town, knows anything about it. But yet, if they had given a long propaganda, the commissioner there should have had a budget to sensitize us and whip us and put us in the mood for we're going to clean. And people get involved. In countries I've seen, the cleanliness is kept, those who manage cleanliness are the citizens themselves. I'll give 3 examples I've seen in my travels. I was in Cape Town for a meeting of editors of Commonwealth. And I was walking from my hotel Holiday Inn, and a girl threw a bottle, a Coca-Cola bottle, on the street. There was a couple only people. They called her, they followed her, said, go and pick that bottle. And they showed her where to put it. The girl was a visitor also, she was embarrassed. She was a journalist also, she was embarrassed. That taught me something, that in South Africa, in Cape Town, you don't throw litter. The citizen will get you. The second time I was traveling in Dallas, Texas, where Ugandan taking a person from Soro, he's an engineer, he's a big guy there. The Tumuwenes. We're driving, and there were these a couple, they're driving an open roof car, and they threw a bottle. Everybody began hooting and chasing them. They called police. They waved off, and they were told to go back and pick that bottle a long distance. I thought that was the citizens were doing that.
And responsible.
And responsible, yes. One time I was in North Korea. We were walking, and I saw all women picking leaves, tree leaves that were actually dropped on the street. You can't throw anything in North Korea, even if you eat a chewing gum. You can't throw a piece of paper because the place is very clean. Who keeps it clean? Citizens, and they are the supervisors. They know. But here, can I tell Lydia here, Honorable, if she had thrown her bottle?
Speak to the camera.
Yeah, can I tell her? And she will say, "Who are you?" So, and who cares? So, what the government should be doing is to make people appreciate cleanness, and that is their responsibility, and everybody is responsible. Okay, for instance, they banned. You know that you guys we have a law we break every day with the Kavera. There's a law here, no Kavera, isn't it?
There are certain microns beyond a certain.
No, but who follows that, Edgar? Who follows that? They made a law in Rwanda, it is operating. They made a law in Kenya, it's operating. It is just here. They made a law which is just for fun. So I think that the government can do these things better. Not that people just want to fight them or to oppose them, but they should do something, think about it, and implement it in a good manner. If
the commissioner says that at least we have somewhere to start from, and this should be the start.
But start it well. Start it well, where I can also mobilize my kids and mobilize my village, my neighborhood. But if I start by opposing or by questioning, then this is a wrong start. Start it well. The Prime Minister cannot say, and we have closed. Nobody, no car moving, nobody moving. How do you know? What am I supposed to do? Suppose I'm going for my wedding, I'm going to pray, I'm going to see my doctor, I'm going to drop to pick my kid. It doesn't work like that. So I think that a good thing, general cleaning is a good thing, but you should plan for it. Don't the honorable minister here does not have 200 billion for having special meals, eating nicely in their offices, and they can't have 50 billion for cleaning the country. Buying gear.
I want to bring in.
Just a minute before you go, sir. I come from Bugiri. Bugiri is about the worst municipality in Uganda. Has no tarmac road, has no anything, nothing. There has no that where dump rubbish. Everything is clogged up. I was just wondering what they have done in the Bugiri today, because there's nothing how to help them do the work. There's nothing there.
We shall be getting comments from Bugiri.
Okay,
I want to bring in. They are coming through. I want to bring in my RDC, Bamwine friend.
That's my name.
I want to ask, and Ndugu Wafula brings out quite a number of points, some of which are security, others are preparedness. I've seen on that. I was driving here through the Chanja, street, through the lights and stuff like that, and I could see the kind of deployment there. I want you to help us in terms of security. What was the strategy in terms of preparing for making sure that people do not move? I saw so many people arrested, so many people beaten up, cars parked on the roadsides. But also, do you think there was enough sensitization for this particular one?
Thank you so much, Comrade Wandera. I want to thank the viewers and the listeners of this program, and also the members who are on this gang. One, it's very good that you have brought it as a topic, and I think it has achieved. That's one of the big milestones now, that the Capital Gang is discussing this National Day of Cleaning. It may have begun with some loopholes or what, but it has begun. But before we go to this, we are going back to where we started as a country. Not even a country, maybe as a society. This was before the colonialists came. That's how we lived as communities. How did these communities survive without these medications and what? Doctors and what? There were some cultural norms which were important for survival of society. And one of them is hygiene. But when we came to these issues of the whites, then we were taken up. But even when colonialists came, some of the traits were maintained. Now the challenge came between the contest between communism and the capitalism. And the capitalism was saying, anybody can do whatever he wants, laissez-faire. The communists were saying, no, families should behave like this. Societies should be like this. The debate continued. So when communism collapsed in, I think, 98, now we went into laissez-faire. And it affected us as a country. Now, Uganda it became more worse because it is a cumulative of the events from 1962 to 86. Because that time, by the time NRM came to power, the issue was, can I be alive up tomorrow? That was the issue. So the government came with that, let us make sure people are alive and are happy. So they thought when people are happy and alive, they remain with their culture of washing up their face, cleaning their teeth, cleaning their compound. We thought people would, by nature, they would continue with those traits. And that's why we fell short. And I can tell you, there's nothing new we're going to do which has never been done before. Comrade Wafu is my long-term friend, he knows it. When we were growing up, one parish chief, not even a parish, below a parish chief is what? No, below there was a parish chief, then below him. No.
The parish chief.
The parish goes to the village, the rest is the village.
So there used to be some parish chiefs. One person, you could find him with 30 men on a rope taking them to sub-county. One person. Even this Burunjwansi. And there was no opposition. Once a parish chief has said this, but when we went into this laissez-faire, we demystified power. Then we came into what we call elections. I can tell you when elections came in, the chairman LC1 cannot talk about people who take banj in his village. Because they are the ones who speak loud, they can campaign him.
Yeah, as you sum up, we need to go for
now. Waf has mentioned something which I wanted him to be honest by himself. He talked about South Korea.
No, North Korea.
North Korea, where you cannot drop anything. Me, I can say all Eastern Asian tigers, all of them, how did they achieve it? They did not achieve it by getting...
Commissioner, let's go for a quick commercial break, and when we return, we shall sum it up, and then we cross to another topic.
But you love to say
today to handle. I'm reminding the gangsters that we are joined by Star Cafe to power our gang. I can see many people, including Edgar, trying to warm up to jump in and do the needful.
No, I left the elder to start first. That's what we do in our culture. So Honorable Wafula has started, then the rest of us can follow.
Each side follow me.
Yes. So I want to bring in. I want the other this to wind up in 1 minute. Then I go to the commissioner to close up.
Yes, I will. So when you go to the Constitution, Article 17, J. It says it is the responsibility of every citizen to create and protect a clean and healthy environment. And that's what we are doing today. Then the government of Uganda passed a law called the National Ethical Values Policy. And when you go to, there are 10 of them, but in this particular case, number 1 is respect for humanity and environment. Then number 7 is social responsibility. So where has been the challenge? The challenges have been 2. 1, politicization. To look at everything in terms of politics. That's where we're getting it wrong. 2, also NRM to be shy, to say, yes, we brought this liberty and peace, but peace that is not absolute. It is not your responsibility. It is peaceful, and but you should also be responsible to work. You should also be responsible to clean the environment.
Yes, as you sum up.
So I think now, fortunately, the president promised it in the manifesto, and I'm one of those who slept very well last night when this program was launched, because I have been writing and writing.
I hope you will sleep well today.
No, we are going to continue.
After we've done the
now it has been launched.
Yes.
Because I'm also writing, I'm happy that Honorable Wanyut is here. We must also, in the same day, we should, I think, incorporate planting a tree. When we are cleaning, we plant a tree.
Thank you very much. I want to cross to the.
Fine, but me, I'm saying, since we have started, because these are crucial issues. These are crucial issues. If you can see the amount of money we spend in health, and they say 75% of the ailments can be avoided if we have a clean environment. So I support, and I want to thank Ugandans how they turned up. Since this is the beginning, once we have finished the elections of LC1, because there was also that malaise. LCs are not working now. They are in a campaign mood.
Yes.
I think after Tuesday, when the elections are done, we shall go deeper and organize it better. Say that at least every month, you have a village council meeting talking about that environment and enforcing it.
Let's have the commissioner, but I hope that your suggestions don't make us bite too much than we can chew. Commissioner, you have a minute to sum this topic and conclude.
And I want to sum it by responding to Right Honorable Wafula and any other who has some feelings about that the government has just come in a brutal manner. I want to say that the civic engagement, the mass media, and the community engagement is just not starting today, Honorable. If you tune on this radio, even now as we are here, we are communicating to the public. So the community preparation, the engagement about disease prevention is our daily responsibility. If you circle around, you will see that we are doing this on a daily job. Now, what we are coming in to launch is just to galvanize the country, just as in one go. But also why we have some bit of the one which looks like a bit militaristic. It shouldn't look like military. It's just to say, let's all of us behave for now. And because we have a few members of society who believe even when you talk, for them they always want to do the opposite. I think that's why you need to have that aspect of the stick. That aspect of the stick.
I'm a very obedient.
So as I sum it up,
yes,
as government, we have been doing engagement for disease prevention, and the benefits are enormous. They are very enormous. The returns on investment are high. We believe that once we do this, we can clearly see the benefits coming through. Now, I want to implore everybody, even when we have not started well, let us start. Let us start. Because there is no any other time to start. There is always a start. And I want to assure you that the next round should be perfected so that we can continuously improve this and we become examples like our neighbors, the one we talk about.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. And you have made your submission and you are free to leave. We are going to continue with other topics that are on table. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Let us maintain the table.
Absolutely.
We the rest of us can speak amongst ourselves and raise rage and throw jabs around because of our political livings. But the expert will bring us into it. And we thank him.
I want us to cross to the next topic. Last week, I think Tuesday or Wednesday. Last week on Tuesday or Wednesday, we had an absurd happening in the middle of town, downtown, where, to my best of knowledge, I think there was an operation that was supposed to happen to do the abduction, quote unquote abduction of one person in downtown, and I think that instead the citizens rose up and whisked the person away, and there was kind of a fracas between the operatives, who were armed men holding guns, and the citizenry opening fire in the air, and they shot a number of rounds of bullets in the air, and it has caught the eye of many. I saw many commentators, politicians taking to the social media platforms to say, what exactly is this happening in the city where we expect peace, but there is a lot of shooting, like a movie scene, and it became a very big concern. And I want to begin with the RDC, who is the custodian of security, to help to help us understand what exactly was happening, and what do you gather from your security circles and the Security Council.
Thank you, Andera. You know, leading a government in a democracy, it's one of the complicated things.
Yeah, we are also joined by the Honorable Hon Katuntu, one of the oldest of this gang. Welcome to the show, and I hope you were cleaning. That's why you came in a little bit.
And I'm surprised you guys were here. Really surprised.
Speak to the microphone. Speak to the microphone.
I'm really surprised you guys were here early.
You were cleaning.
Oh yes, you see how I'm even dressed.
Yes.
See,
They are both from BG.
yes, we are, but anyway, I think we have an in-house, because I thought we had communicated. We have finished the exercise, then we'll be here between 10.
Depends on where you stay.
Yeah.
No, we are here.
Okay.
That was a little.
Anyway, I'm around.
Welcome.
And you guys were here at 10.
Welcome to the show.
It shows
You
you.
grew up in Entebbe, and you decided to settle there.
Let's speak security now.
As I was informing you, it's very tricky to run a country in a democracy. There's this singer, it's called who? He was saying who would be like a god, Albani. I don't know which singer is that. Who is seated in the chair of God, whereby you find the thief wants protection from government. If they arrest any person as a thief, take me to police. Now the owner of a property wants protection from government, and now both of them, they expect to be treated with kid gloves, protecting the property to be stolen, and the thief also is praying to God, also I should be. That's the kind of situation like government, how it is run. Now, I think as a government of NRM, we are not communicating efficiently. And at the same time, the way we transit to help people to understand, yes, you have freedoms, but freedoms have go with responsibilities. That's where challenges come from. And I have always told people that if I have my brother or my friend who is in the forces and is armed, and he has said, don't cross here, I will not say why. I will first tell me, show where he has told me to pass. If he has mishandled me, I will go and report. But you have a society now, a security officer tells you, pass here, said, why? I can't go. They pick stones. And you are picking stones with people who are armed. Me, I equate it like taking poison. This person is armed. You are picking stones to hit him. He's a human being before the law comes in. So me, I advise.
Was that the case this morning?
No. The people behaved well this time. So me, I want to advise people. When security officers advise you to follow. If the order is bad, you can go and report this person, but don't involve in exchange. But if this time you see people holding sticks or stones chasing policemen, and I call upon everybody to restrain our people. Let everybody do his work. 2, the issue you're asking, all these activities you see with security agencies, they are intelligence-led operations. There is no activity or arrest or apprehension whereby there is no intelligence. So not until you are aware of the amount of intelligence that the operation that is taking place is containing, you cannot authoritatively say why are they shooting in the air or not. Fortunately, the police came and informed the public. He said there was an operation going on, and there are some overzealous citizens wanted to obstruct that operation, and they had to fire, they call them warning shots, so that they can carry out the operation, and that's what happened. But my biggest issue is for us, the political class, to guide the people that believe in us, how should they respond to security agencies. Fortunately, in Uganda, you are innocent until proven guilty.
So what happened downtown?
Yeah, there was an operation, and
what was the operation?
The population wanted that one. They don't discuss it here.
What was
there is no operation that was discussed on the media.
Why did the
police said? The police said there was an operation taking place, and the population wanted to obstruct, and they gave one warning shots, and the operation went on. So,
was it an overt or covert operation?
It was an operation.
Was it an overt or covert operation?
I don't know.
No, you see, you ought to.
No. You see, why I don't know is simple. Why I don't know is simple. What me and you saw is people shooting. That's what we saw. If there was no shooting, we wouldn't have known. Why did they shoot? Because the population was surging, and that's why I'm saying that's not a good conduct.
Did you find out why the population was surging? Because this is within your circles.
Yeah, of course, why not? Once that's what I started with. Once you have a population which thinks before you do any operation in the area, you must inform them. Then you lose it because you don't know the kind of intelligence that is involved. If they had picked Wandera in an area, for instance, and Wandera lives with gangs who say, this is our leader, you can't take him. What do you do? Do you inform them that we are taking him by force? They will come and pick you. And if there is kind of resistance, they give warning shots. And so, I want to request everybody, let us drive in our lanes. If we feel there is something wrong, still you can appeal. You can appeal and say, there is this activity, it is ugly, and it's not good for the country. Fortunately, we have a listening government.
Aradis, I want to ask you one final question before I cross to Senior Katuntu here. We've seen many of these operations, and you'd see that these people were armed, and most of them not in uniform. Couldn't identify them whether they belong to any security agency or they were goons coming to rob. So and we've seen many people picked in that kind of manner, some of whom have turned out to be innocent. What does the law say about arresting someone, regardless of whatever they are and whatever?
I thought you were listening to me. Operations are guided by the nature of intelligence. Once you are not aware of the kind of intelligence they have, you'll ask many questions. But what is important, the main objective is the operation to take place. If they find the intelligence is saying, Wandera, once you call him to police, he'll just come by himself, there's no problem. But there are some Bamwinas who think they are Gumiti.
Oh, Gumiti.
Yes. So, not until you have that kind of intelligence, you cannot dare much. Two, this country, the beauty, nobody's guilty until court has proved so. So that's why when they take you to police or court, some people have come out without any problem. Maybe there was suspicion. That's why they say you are a suspect, but you are not a convict. I mean, you are not a criminal.
Do you want to qualify the fact that sometimes the intelligence is false intelligence?
It may be, but you never know. You see, once intelligence has been brought, then it is processed. So at times intelligence may be, for instance, if this intelligence is not instant, it may come today, but when actually the activities will happen in 5 months to come. So it depends on the kind of intelligence that has been gathered.
Let's cross to
and the interest.
Honorable Katuntu. He will share with us. I don't know whether he's still in opposition or he crossed, but while in opposition, many opposition members have been picked in a similar manner.
Yes. A very senior chairman of legal and what?
Legal and Parliamentary
Affairs Committee.
Honorable Katuntu. Honorable Katuntu. Many people have been picked in the same manner, and there's a question of the rule of law. Please, can you help us understand whether there is a law and then intelligence working on separate paths?
Does the intelligence work under the rule of law or not? So if you see, Mr. Bamwine, there are things that sometimes, you know, when you discuss something and you know that what you are saying is not correct, you don't look good. You don't. You see, first of all, you don't believe in what you are saying. This country is governed by the Constitution. What does the Constitution say? Do you arrest somebody without giving me a reason why you're arresting him? 2, when you arrest him, where do you take him? 3, if you Bamwine, as you addressed, as I'm West, Right Honorable Fulo Oguti's dress, we come out with the guns and say we have come for an operation in Katwe. What differentiates us between goons, criminals, such that the people whom you are operating around would know these are security officers or these are goons? You see, it's only the other day on Sunday we had the World Cup, and at halftime we had these kids from Uganda, the ghetto kids, performing with Shakira and the Burna Boy. I can tell you, these are the biggest ambassadors of this country. Chiprotich, Chiptegei, these are the biggest ambassadors in this country. The Bamwines, you are the worst ambassadors in this country. You've destroyed the only country. Because you can't see something wrong and you go on a national television and you justify it. It is wrong, Bamwine. It is wrong. You see, for those of us who are quite old, this one is even older than me, know that this country has gone through these sort of processes and they did not end out well for the country. During Idi Amin, I don't know whether you were born, Bamwine, but have you ever heard of something called UVS? The vehicles that were coming with the state research, with state search people, abducting people, and some of them were never seen again. We cannot, under any circumstances, justify such wrong, Bamwine. Please, please, you don't look good, and you are destroying our own country. This country is for all of us. It is not for cowboyism. And you know, he started on a wrong note. He said, you know, in democracy, these things are very bad.
That is tricky.
It's tricky. Those are. So what do you want? Is there an option to democracy which you are comfortable with? And what you are comfortable with is exactly what is going on. I'll give you an example. We are now faced with the national crisis of a former member of parliament called Muwanga Chivumbi. You know him, I guess?
Yes.
Mr. Bamwine, you know him. He was abducted under similar circumstances which you are justified.
At the roadblock.
And what happened? there was an application for a writ of habeas corpus. A writ of habeas corpus means you ask government to produce somebody who has been held and you don't know where he has been held and beyond the constitutionally mandated hours.
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive. It's our law. And we are supposed to be a country under the rule of law. Police, the IGP, swears an affidavit by the Assistant Commissioner of Police. He said, we didn't arrest him, we don't know where he is. And Bamwine is telling us something which actually is, what you're saying is very, very annoying. And nobody listening to you is actually pleased with what you are saying.
Okay.
Don't justify this sort of thing. So what we think, yes, do people commit crimes? Of course people commit crimes. Should the government look on when people are committing crimes? Of course no. People should be arrested. Does the constitution, does the law envisage the way people should arrest? It does. Does it give the rules, the guidelines? It does. Did you follow those guidelines? No. Do you justify not following the guidelines and you want me to listen to you? Why am I a lawyer? Why am I a good citizen?
Yeah.
I will not listen to that bullshit. So what we need, of course, it is actually bullshit. Let me tell you, you never see me, Mr. Wandera, you never see me speaking like this.
Yeah, but we should be.
And you know why? We are talking about people's lives.
Yes.
We are talking about,
we need to be restrained.
Lydia, we are talking about people's lives.
Yeah.
We are talking about people's husbands. We are talking about people's children. And they have been abducted, and some of them have not been seen. And somebody is telling me that I should start smiling about it.
No, Derek.
I know you are not happy, but certain language certainly can't be used in, on this kind of video. And you need to.
Okay. Do you want me to withdraw it?
Withdraw the statement.
I've withdrawn it.
When I sit in that position,
I think the problem with the chair. I think the chair. But anyway, the point has been made,
yes,
that some of these things are not acceptable in a true democracy. Yes. And the challenge is, can we do better?
Yes.
Can we do better? We don't, and you know, why I was a little bit taken up by Mr. Bamwine, because he's in charge of security, somehow. Because RDCs are in charge of security.
Exactly. You have a few seconds to.
Yes, and if we don't talk to them like this, they will continue doing it. They should know that there is a section of the population which is not happy with what is going on. Today, do you know why? Why the United States has labeled us as a country not to travel to. Level 4. Do you know what that means to our country?
No tourism, no investors.
No investor, no serious investor will come to invest at a country at level 4. You are killing people's jobs, you are killing income, you are killing the image of this country. And we are crying, please don't drag us that. This country does better. And by the way, to end up with, you know, you asked this question of whether I'm what and so on. We have to acknowledge that the NRM has made tremendous strides in some areas. You can't move 4 steps
in front and
you do 5.
6 behind.
It doesn't make sense.
Let's cross to my grandfather in the profession, Right Honorable Ogutu. You have been animated during the submission of the Honorable Katuntu, and I know that many of your party members that you subscribe to are in prison. Some of them are in incarceration after being, you know, picked up in a similar manner. What kind of picture does this shape for our nation?
You see, thank you, Derek. The RDC there began by saying it is very tricky to run a country under a democracy. I thought when you have democracy, everything is oily.
What is the opposition other than that?
Yes, the opposite. Because when it is a democracy, everything is oil. Everybody is respected. Everybody feels good, self-belonging. But no, don't. I will come later. But to say that it's tricky, democracy is what we are looking for, and now to use it's a negative. So, you see,
I hope you give me time to.
What people are getting fed up, and they are being pushed against the wall. Like you put a rat, a cat against the wall, it will jump on you. People are being abducted. Me, the part I come from, I have friends of mine who are in jail and detentions who were abducted in a similar manner.
Yes. Why not you?
What?
Ndugu Bamwine,
so that is not a good question.
Is on the microphone.
Not a good question. Because even if somebody is suspected to have committed a crime,
This is what they call due process.
there is a due process. You don't go to a house in Nairobi and abduct people across the border without any due process. There's no law involved, there's no police involved, there's no court involved there. You bring them here, put them in a military in communicado. That is not what we are looking for. You don't go and pick some Mugumia who had served 8 years in Congo. He has come back to his country. He's picked at 11 o'clock in a drone when everybody is seeing. You don't pick Mwanga is another DC who told the police to set up a roadblock to have him arrested in Mpiji. Another DC who works under Mr. Wamwine here. And they pick him. When the police are there, we have seen that everybody saw that the police were aiding Mwanga Kim to be abducted by people who didn't have a uniform in a car which was labeled. And he's justifying this. It is very annoying because people are going to resist this. You can't push people forever. They will push back. And when they do, you see, the other is saying, oh, operation, military intelligence reports. Okay, intelligence means you work behind the scenes, go and report, and then you got the person and say, hey,
right,
Edgar,
let's go for a quick commercial.
You have done
when
this.
When we return, you will have.
Yeah, I've finished.
Sum it up.
You have done this, and we are arresting you for this reason. You must do that.
The Honorable Minister is quiet.
My name is Derek Wandera. I am sitting in for Oscar Semwe Amsoke. And please, gang, I see you very energized after taking Star Cafe that is empowering us this morning. I want to bring in Edgar. Edgar has been very animated during the break, and in fact, you know, making faces. I want to hear from you. What does this mean in terms of what Bamwine is very difficult? He is feeling very uncomfortable with in terms of democracy, because it's very tricky according to
I said it is tricky.
Yeah,
I've interacted with Bwana Bamwine for some time, for nearly 2 decades now. Nearly 2 decades. At that time I was a young academic and full of life. We talked about that bit of my life, Honorable Wafula. And I've heard that talk, reckless and irresponsible talk of democracy. Actually, there are people who believe that democracy that can deliver development.
They say we have too much democracy.
If that were the case, Africa, Latin America, and much of Asia would have been the most developed parts of the world because of dictatorship. So that argument is pedestrian, and quite frankly, it shouldn't even appear on such on record of such a whatever a media house of source. So we set ourselves in 1994, 1995, culminating into the 1995 Constitution. There are basics, and the preamble to that Constitution lays it out very clearly where we are coming from. So we all came, and we are sharing a destiny, and that we are bequeathing to our children and posterity this social contract between the governed and those who govern us. And those are the minimum standards. You can't run away from them. Does the state can the state legitimately use force? Yes. But under what circumstances? Under what circumstances? And under what circumstances do you enforce an arrest? Lawful order from a what? Lawful authority. The moment you go outside those parameters, the moment you set what they call it opacity, as against transparency, then you are diluting what we set out for ourselves to do. democratization is not an event, it's a process. Yes, we do take steps. There are people who will be pulling in different directions. Fledgling democracies, nascent democracies, are never easy. They are what they call the birth plans of a democracy. But there are certain minimum standards, even amongst our communities, of what they call Ubuntu Bulamu. Ubuntu. Yeah, like we'd be talking about Ubuntu. You've interacted so much with us. Ubuntu. Yeah. And I'd like to give the example of South Africa. When the South African, the post-apartheid South Africa, when they were trying to, what they call it, Africanize the bench, so as to, the bench was white, and not just white, mainly Boer, and to protect white monopoly capital that gave birth to the apartheid regime. Now, in the post-apartheid regime, the ANC had to strike a compromise, and they went for white liberals. And many of them happened to be Jewish, led by the leading person there was Justice Arthur Shackleton. And you saw the transformation. In fact, he's the one who first initiated the principle of Ubuntu, getting it from the Zulu and Xhosa, cosmology. So there are certain things, people, whichever side of the political divide you belong, there are certain minimum standards that we are human beings first and foremost, and we should be treated humanly. If you have committed an offense, yes, you're talking of intelligence-led. I know in operations, there are covert and overt operations. But where you have a police officer donned in police uniform, maybe being led by covert, that there's an offense that is likely to be committed or is going to be committed, or there's a reasonable comprehension that there's an offense that has been committed. There are steps to carry out an arrest. And where to first is inform the family members, then to detain them in a gazetted detention center. Permit them access to their relatives, legal counsel, and health care. I mean, these are bare minimum things. Whether you are NRM, whether you are PPF, PFF, PFF. We used to take PPF injections as